ready.
Hello and what is up guys, my name is PixelPolish and welcome to the show where I'll be going through the latest releases and announcements from the ever-growing PlayStation Vita world. As usual, there's a lot to talk about, so let's see what's going on in Vita news for Monday, 19th of January 2015. Dust off your weapons and polish your armor, because the next installment of Toukiden is coming to the West this spring. While it's not a true sequel to Toukiden The Age of Demons, Toukiden Kiwami feels almost like it is. It effectively doubles the content of the original game with new demons, new areas to explore, 3 new weapon types, new combat styles, 100 new mitama to acquire and countless new items to craft. It also adds a whole new story, which takes place 3 months after the events in vanilla game, answering the questions about the originals of Slayers and introducing a slew of new characters. Toukiden Kiwami is slated for release on March 27th in Europe and March 31st in North America in both digital and physical form. The Banner Saga, a successful Viking-themed tactical role-playing game, marches its way to PlayStation Vita. The game already saw its release on PC and mobile devices last year, and it was one of the best received indie games on those platforms, which shouldn't be a surprise since Toy Studio consists of some former BioWare developers. The Banner Saga is a first game of the projected trilogy, and now PlayStation Vita gamers will also have the chance to dip into it sometime around spring this year. On the pages of the V-Jump magazine, Bandai Namco has announced that they are developing a video game based on the widely acclaimed Ghoul series. Not much is known about Ghoul Masquerader as of yet, other than it being an adventure RPG which, you guessed it, will come to PlayStation Vita. Be sure to check out In Vita News regularly for more information about the game. Bad news for Aussie gamers, yet again. The Australian Classification Board has refused to classify Hotline Miami 2 wrong number, effectively banning the game in the country, all because of an implied rape scene that is actually just a movie scene shot by the fictional characters. Despite the fact that Australia now has the 18+ rating in place for video games, it didn't stop the board from telling the adult gamers what they can and cannot play in their fair country. Players can choose to play a cut version of Hotline Miami 2 which removes those scenes completely, but so far it didn't change the Australian Classification Board's mind about the whole issue. The award-winning Japanese physics-based platformer TorqueL is heading to PlayStation Vita. Since the initial release of the prototype version of the game, it has picked up multiple awards for design and use of physics at events such as the famous Tokyo Game Show. The full version of TorqueL is already available in Japanese PSN store, and it will hit the Western shores very soon, starting with the Steam release on January 22nd. In case you have missed the PlayStation Experience announcement, let me remind you that Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions is coming to the Vita this year. This installment of Geometry Wars introduces a full 3D action and competitive multiplayer for the first time in the franchise. It was already released on PS3 and PS4 on November last year, but in case you've got a craving for blasting cubes on the go, you won't have to wait for very long. There is no firm release date for the Vita just yet, but you should be able to pick up a copy in Q1 2015. Speaking of good ports we should embrace on the Vita, an award-winning dark platformer Nihilumbra will creep its way to PlayStation Store next week. In Nihilumbra, players take control of Born, a black shadow that escaped the void and needs your help to reach the end of its journey. The game will have you paint the world with your fingertips using 3 basic colors that change the surface characteristics to help you navigate the levels. If you fancy some platforming using both touch and physical controls, you will be able to pick up this game on January 27th in North America and 1 day later in Europe. And that is it for the show, guys. You'll find the links to the websites and trailers concerning today's topics in the video description below. You might also want to check out the previous issue of In Vita News if you missed it, or the latest episode of Live Hunt Podcast. Just click on one of the thumbnails you can see on your screen right now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.